You ever heard of Bangungot? In the Philippines, it's this terrifying story of a perfectly healthy person who goes to sleep and just never wakes up. For generations, folklore has blamed it on everything from nightmares to, believe it or not, what they ate for dinner. But what if the truth isn't a myth at all? What if it's a tiny, deadly glitch hardwired into our very own DNA? Okay, let's unpack this. This is the exact phrase you'll hear whispered the morning after. He ate too much. A heavy meal, maybe just a little extra rice, gets pointed to as the killer. It's a simple explanation for something that's just unthinkable, right? It's comforting, it's familiar, but here's the thing, it's wrong. And this is what changes everything. This is where we leave folklore behind and step right into the laboratory, where we move from superstition to science. Because the real killer, it's not in the rice bowl. It's hiding in the heart's own electrical code. So picture this, a 32-year-old man, completely healthy, in the absolute prime of his life, goes to bed after a totally normal day. But then, around 3 a.m., deep in his sleep, his heart just forgets its rhythm. It starts to quiver chaotically. He groans, a sound that actually gives Bangungot its name. And then, silence. See, this isn't a nightmare. It's a medical condition. And the scientific name for this night terror is Brugada syndrome. This completely redefines the problem. We are not talking about some supernatural event. We're talking about a very specific genetic disorder that short-circuits the heart's electrical system. This kicks off a fatal arrhythmia called ventricular fibrillation. And the wildest part is, it almost always happens during sleep. So what's actually going wrong inside the body? To understand that, you have to think about the heart not just as a muscle, but as this incredibly complex piece of biological hardware. And in Brugada syndrome, there is a critical bug in the system. Think of it like this. Your heart cells have an electrical front door, called the NaV 1.5 sodium channel. In a healthy heart, this door swings open perfectly, letting sodium rush in to kickstart a heartbeat. But in Brugada, a mutation in the SCN5A gene, which is basically the instruction manual for this door, causes a glitch. The door closes way too fast, or maybe it doesn't open properly at all. This creates a dangerous voltage gap, and that can destabilize the entire rhythm. And we're not just talking about one single error. Scientists have found over 300 different mutations in this one gene that can cause this exact kind of faulty hardware. So the crucial point here is that this is an inherited problem, hardwired into a person's genetics from birth. So if the glitch is hidden in the genes, how in the world do you find it before it's too late? Well, doctors become data detectives, and their number one tool is the EKG, or electrocardiogram, because it's right there, in those wavy lines, that they can find the culprit's unique fingerprint. Now when they look at the EKG, specifically leads V1 through V3, they are hunting for two telltale patterns. The first is type 1, or the coved pattern, and it looks like a downward ski slope. This is a major red flag. It means high risk. The second is the type 2, or saddleback pattern, and yeah, it looks just like a horse's saddle. While you might see it in healthy people sometimes, if someone has a risky family history, it's a serious digital warning. But here's the real challenge. The glitch is sneaky. A person with Brugada could have a completely normal EKG during a 10 a.m. doctor's visit. Those dangerous patterns might only show up late at night or when the body is under stress, like during a fever. And this is why the condition remains such a deep mystery for so long. This brings us to the central question, right? Why at night? Why does this fatal event almost always happen during sleep? Well, the answer lies in this fascinating little drama that plays out inside our nervous system every single day. Your body basically has two modes. During the day, your sympathetic system, let's call it the chief of surgery, is in charge. Adrenaline is flowing, and that actually helps the faulty sodium channels work a bit better, kind of masking the glitch. But at night, the inner toddler takes over. That's your parasympathetic system. The vagus nerve slows the heart rate way, way down, and this is exactly when that faulty channel is most vulnerable to failing completely. So now, let's connect this all the way back to that myth about a heavy meal. The food isn't the root cause, the genetic glitch is. But eating a massive meal, especially late at night, stimulates that vagus nerve to help with digestion. So for a person who already has the faulty hardware, that extra rice can absolutely be the trigger that pushes their vulnerable heart over the edge. The folklore had a tiny grain of scientific truth in it, after all. So why is this so famously known as the Filipino night terror? Well, it's because Brugada syndrome is overwhelmingly found in Southeast Asia. This is likely because of a founder effect, where a specific gene mutation appeared centuries ago and was just passed down through generations. And the data is stark. Men of Southeast Asian descent are 8 to 10 times more likely to have this condition. Understanding the science is one thing, but how do we fight back? This is where we can move from folklore to a concrete action plan. This is the modern survival protocol for managing Brugada syndrome. First, screening is absolutely key. If you have a family history of sudden death, an EKG is non-negotiable. Second, you have to manage fevers aggressively because high temperatures make the glitch worse. Third, avoid those vagal spikes by limiting heavy meals and alcohol before sleep. And finally, for high-risk patients, the ultimate protection is an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, or ICD. It's a small device that monitors the heart and can deliver a life-saving shock to reset the rhythm if a fatal event begins. It's a digital miracle. So let's recap the crucial points. Bangungot is Brugada syndrome. The cause is a genetic glitch in the SCN5A gene. The clues are those unique COVID or saddleback EKG patterns. The trigger is the vagus nerve's activity at night, not the food itself. And most importantly, survival is possible through screening, awareness, and modern medical technology. In the end, what was once blamed on a nightmare, we now understand is electrophysiology. The great challenge is moving from folklore to molecular medicine. By sharing this knowledge, by explaining that it isn't a curse but a manageable condition, we have the power to stop this night terror before it ever strikes. The question isn't what it is anymore. The question is, how many lives can we now save?